Hello guys, welcome back to Liftoff. I know you've been waiting for another video. Your wait is over because I have come back with another amazing video about space. But this time, it will all be about Musk's plan to beat Russia. Is that possible? Stay tuned. After Elon Musk unveiled the formidable air defense for the Air Force, major space company SpaceX is collaborating with the United States Air Force on a massive air defense project that is expected to cost more than $102 million. This project is beyond anything anyone could have ever imagined. So are you excited to learn about it? The US Air Force awarded SpaceX to the company that designs and manufactures heavy rockets, which contracts more than $102 million to help transport military cargo and worldwide humanitarian aid, as stated on a government website system for prize management. The contract is one of several included in the Air Force's rocket cargo program that includes using the rockets for global logistics for the Department of Defense, although it is unclear which spacecraft will be used by SpaceX for its rocket cargo program. Also, Greg Spaniers, program manager for rocket cargo, said DOD would be interested in being able to ship cargo anywhere in the world to support humanitarian aid, according to the Spanish Air Force, by monitoring SpaceX's launches and landings and the environmental necessity for the program. As a result, the Spaniards confirmed that the vast majority of disaster areas do not have commercial spaceports nearby. SpaceX will need to demonstrate technologies and capabilities to transport military cargo, humanitarian assistance, and other goods around the world, according to Space News Rocket, which makes reference to this kind of con. Pathway is a point-to-point transport for moving a payload from one place on Earth to another, and is the largest rocket cargo contract of its kind ever offered. To support humanitarian aid and disaster relief, Spaniards are very interested in the ability to send cargo anywhere on Earth, he said, adding that commercial vendors envision fixed point-to-point transport to established sites. A commercial service that we definitely are interested in buying, once available, the Spaniards have said. Although SpaceX is the first company to receive this contract, the Air Force intends to work with other companies as part of the program, as well as the Rocket Cargo Vanguard project, according to Air Force officials last year, in which plans regarding transportation were studied. 100-ton cargo using commercial rockets anywhere on the planet. The new contract does not specify which launch vehicles of SpaceX will be used to transport cargo, although the new agreement allows AFRL to operate on all SpaceX launches and boosters. Launching will provide the ability to view and access data so that the right vehicle can be selected and evaluated for the job at hand. It's no secret that SpaceX has been flying reusable rockets for years, and also has a heavy lift rocket with a reusable booster for large emissions called the Falcon Heavy. Apart from developing a giant rocket called Starship, the company is developing a reusable booster system called Super Heavy, which would be capable of launching 100 metric tons into Earth orbit. And between the capabilities of that rocket, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk believes it will have the ability to make point-to-point travel around Earth, as reported by Space News as part of the contract. SpaceX has been able to call a demonstration of its heavy cargo transportation and landing capabilities, although it has no specified timeline to when such a demonstration could take place. Several commercial demonstrations will take advantage of the launch, and he said the Air Force will not run schedules, but will collect data whenever SpaceX takes off as per relevant missions. Under the contract, SpaceX will also design a cargo base for the Air Force, specifically for cargo bays that can be rapidly loaded and unloaded and can fit inside intermodal containers owned by the US Transportation Command. Although the contract is for disaster relief and also extended to the distribution of humanitarian aid. Unfortunately, there are not spaceports everywhere, except to provide cargo and supplies for the US military, so the landing of a rocket laden with essential supplies would be a challenge to overcome in the event of a disaster. For this reason, according to the Spanish, the AFRL is searching. The first demonstration flight under the program is also said that other launch providers may be awarded similar contracts in the future, adding that the critical heavy cargo from orbit has not been attempted before. This commercial thermal protection system landing. This isn't the first time SpaceX has worked with the US Air Force. According to a recent request made by the company to the Federal Communications Commission, SpaceX is preparing to further demonstrate its stylized satellite internet to the US Air Force, the company said. A filing was submitted from SpaceX to the FCC that seeks to make minor amendments to the experimental authorization for it. Additional test activities carried out with the federal government. SpaceX said the tests would demonstrate that data could be transmitted and received from 2 stationary ground sites and 2 from an aeroplane at the same location, and conducted a third limited test from a moving vehicle. The Starlink project in one location is a project the company is focusing on using thousands of satellites called a constellation and the space industry to establish an interconnected internet network and provide foster internet to existing and potential customers. SpaceX also announced that it would work with Ball Aerospace, a defense and aerospace company, for the test. Joe's styling provided the antennas needed to attach satellites to an aircraft, although a recent statement released by SpaceX states that Ball manufactures analog antennas for tactical aircraft, meaning the military jet company reported that styling tests belong to the Defense of the Air Force Research Laboratory. Experiments using the commercial space internet DUCY program, for which Ball was awarded a $9.7 million contract in August, although SpaceX has not given a specific time frame for when the tests would be conducted. It says it estimates that testing will take 4 to 6 months to meet the performance of Starlink, which continues to be expanded by SpaceX, and launched more than 2,000 satellites into orbit in October. SpaceX has begun applying any public data to its initial services that are now available to customers in the United States, Canada, Germany, and New Zealand, and prices are starting at $99 per month. In November, the company sought approval from the FCC to begin connecting to the private jet from Starlink SpaceX. Then, early in January, a request was made that the Federal Communications Commission bring in its authorization to include moving vehicles so that Starlink could be used in everything from aircraft to ships. Although nothing has been done yet, whatever the case may be, do you think any of these projects will start soon?